Hey, welcome to your Pisces horoscopes for the week of the 13th through the 20th of January. And well, we still have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. I have looked ahead. That's basically going to continue throughout the year. Even Saturn is basically staying in Pisces throughout this year also. Saturn about 2.5 years per sign, which we're about halfway through that. So yeah, we're still going to have those influences in Pisces for a while. Saturn is in a grand sextile with Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter. Jupiter is very much focused on inner trauma. Now, this is a grand sextile. So, this is actually a really helpful aspect where the planets are coming together in a very helpful way. Pisces focus is on those that support you. And Jupiter's focus is on inner trauma. So, a lot of times when we've had issues with support or we have trauma around people who should have been supportive that were not supportive, this creates this need to draw the support from other avenues in our lives and can, for many people, and I've seen this played out through a lot of Pisces because I've known several Pisces over the years, that they gather all of these people to support them and inadvertently wind up gathering the wrong people to support them. So understanding where that comes from is definitely helpful in terms of your success, because then you start to gather the right people to help you rather than, it's quality over quantity instead of quantity over quality, if that makes sense. Saturn's responsibility is really pointing you towards be responsible about your support. Make sure that you're gathering the right support for what you need. And because Mars and Mercury are focused on long-term goals, you want to be very specific about what you need support and look for that support in the areas that you need it. So, for instance, financial support, financial planners, somebody that works in finance is your best support system. Yes, you have to pay them to do that. But I have found in my life that you get the best work out of people that you pay and not necessarily people you're asking to just kind of sort of help you out. You can get those people to help you out once, twice, maybe even three times. After a while, they don't put as much energy into it anymore. And it's not because they don't love you, it's because if there isn't anything for them, they're just not going to put the right kind of energy into it, the kind of energy that you want them to put into it, I guess, if that makes sense. In terms of all of this energy going towards your long-term goals, Mars is a lot of energy going towards those goals. And one of the things about Pisces that is definitely a motivation killer is I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I hear that from Pisces all the time, but I can't because I have this and this and this to do. That doesn't mean that you can't set up goals. That doesn't mean that you can't say, okay, I have a Pisces friend right now who's taking care of his parents. And yes, he really has his hands full doing that. So maybe creating career goals for himself right this minute is not a good idea. That doesn't mean that he can't put those goals in process for later and at least take the time now to decide what he wants to do when this is all over, if that makes sense. So eliminating the words I can't is a big deal for Pisces because they tend to be words that are overused for that sign. Um, we also have Neptune continues to be in Pisces, which is going to continue throughout the rest of this year also. It's so close. Neptune is so close to leaving Pisces and moving into Aries, but it's not quite going to happen yet. And it is your ruling planet. So while having it there may cause problems, especially when it moves into challenging spaces with other planets, um, honestly, Neptune's influence over your intuition and your development of your intuition is really helpful. So, yes, it can cause challenges, but so can everything else, right? Think about it. We need food to survive. We have to eat every single day. If we don't eat the right foods or we eat the wrong amounts, it can kill us. Balance is everything in the world, plain and simple. Neptune is in a square with Venus this week. Now that should end next week. But until then, the challenge is still there. And Venus's influence is very much on finances and finding creative solutions in order to be successful in terms of your financial plans. Now, with Neptune being focused on those that support you and your financial plans, to me, this is all about having a plan and not necessarily like, say you have a partner and you don't talk about your plans, you just sort of implement them. They don't know, they come in, they spend a big chunk of money. Or you did talk to them, but you didn't talk to them when they were paying attention. So they either forgot or they didn't know or etc. So obviously, if you have financial plans and you're married or you have a partner, you definitely need to discuss that with them because that way you're both on the same page. It's really important to make sure that you do that. Aside from that, though, we also are looking at the possibility of having these plans, but not seeing eye to eye on exactly how that plan should be executed. So you definitely don't want to go into the place throwing your hands up in the air and going, I tried, I always try. Everybody shoots down my ideas. No, find a compromise in there because that is what the world is. It's one compromise after another. The more you compromise, not compromise yourself, but the more you make compromises and work with the people around you, the more successful you will be. We do continue to have a sextile between the sun and Pluto and Neptune, which is also helpful because we're looking at support around your career. So this also helps with those financial plans also is looking at the place where you're going to get the money, basically. So things are really lining up favorably in terms of making sure that you have the support that you need to be able to take care of business, basically. So that's really important. And of course, we're looking at making sure that we have the right support for that and not just somebody supporting you because they just happen to be standing next to you in the moment. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is down below this video. Really appreciate all the coffee love. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys, make it the best week ever. Just because you can, just because you're Pisces and you use magic and you can do anything. I'll see you guys next week. You guys make it a great week.